Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. I am ManyNinjas. Now that I'm officially back from the Con Bravo 2013 convention that was in Hamilton, Ontario, it's time to get back to more retro ninja gaming, and in this case, back to our continuing run on Rockman 4 Minus Infinity. Moving on, we really have only 2 Masters left at this point, so let's go after what's probably the harder one of the two, Rockman? Trust me folks, you gotta see this. As for what's going on in this particular stage, this stage has a certain gimmick with the enemies. Everything is going to be some sort of toad or tadpole going on here. Another interesting thing that comes up on this particular stage will be, if you notice as Mega Man is going up and down those those angles there, Mega Man's sprite will actually change to show that he's standing on an angle on any of those edges, which is something that did not exist in the original Mega Man games. So it's a nice addition. After getting by that initial part, we face the first mini-boss, which, as you can guess, frog-based. Fortunately, it goes down to the drill for you easily enough, and we proceed to a better example of those nice angled steps that I mentioned earlier. You're going to basically be bombarded on this section by... I forgot to mention this earlier, but do you notice that one floating enemy there? That one up and down enemy type that always seems to appear? As it turns out, he literally does appear at least once in each and every stage, in some form, manner, or another. Moving onward, we have this next section, which is actually a nice little homage to the Sonic series. If you didn't catch that one hidden edge I just jumped on, you would just go in a cycle until you finally figured out that you needed to jump forward. Nice little trick there. These tadpole enemies are basically borrowed from Gemini Man stage. And the larger ones, if you destroy them, would reveal some modified version of the Mega Man 2 giant frogs. Only this time, instead of shooting smaller frogs, they shoot the small little bubbles, for lack of a better term, which will actually trap you for a few seconds. And you basically have to shake your way out of it. As for what lies behind door number 1, mini-boss Shadow Man, complete with his Power Fighters ride, which in this case I believe was borrowed from the Wonder Swan version of the game. Not much to show here, mostly because they happen to take a lot of damage from the drill torpedo in that form. Just take them all with Rush Search in order to rebuild some health, hopefully. There we go, thank you very much, Rush. At this moment, just selecting a little bit of a more suitable weapon for the next part. Although realistically, in this area here, you can get away with just running forward and jumping the whole time. As you can guess by the raindrops, your jumping will be affected, making you pushing forward to the right a lot easier. In this next section, you can either spend some time trying to shoot down Jumping, or do as I did and really just skip over him. He's entirely optional in this particular stage. The next section has you playing on Rush. You play on Rush Jet and pretty much have a nice little dashing section, kind of like what you had for Dive Man stage. Just to warn you, if you happen to bump into any of those walls, you will be bounced upward and take extra damage. Same with that particular jump. However, the spikes will kill you in one hit, so make sure to dodge those. Moving on, just about ready for the kind of a nasty surprise to throw at the end here. You have to make a very careful jump in order to get by there. I haven't exactly worked out the regular time for that jump, so we cheat with some balloon usage. But for the most part, after completing that last little water section, you're at the actual boss gate. While the stage for the most part was honestly a cakewalk, Toadman himself has been upgraded to make him part Final Fantasy boss, part Total Spaz. His new rain dance will actually transform you into a harmless little frog that is taken from another game, where he'll be able to attack you completely at his mercy, and the only way to get out of it will be to get caught in another rain dance and turn back to normal. And even if he manages not to get you with that, he jumps in an entirely random fashion, which I honestly can't predict. Also scary enough, if you happen to try to use certain special sub-weapons like the Rush Cannon, he will actually jump up to the top of the stage and remain there until you equip something else that won't be highly damaging. He's very aware and very terrifying. Even with Rigman's weapon here, quite frankly, I was really spamming that weapon just to try to get that one last shot at me. with Toadman down. Now we get his revised version of the Rain Flush, which is actually Toad's spell from the Final Fantasy series. Join me next time, folks, as we take on the last of the Robot Masters before starting off with the Fortress stages. Next up, Skullman.